We're officially entering the completely insane phase of the 2016 election. I know it feels like we've been here for about a year now, but if you think the political theater has been crazy so far, trust me, you ain't seen nothing yet. It seems that everyone you know is starting to crack, right? I mean, you can just open up Twitter or Facebook, and every second of the day, it seems like someone is writing something crazy. Nobody has a clue as to what's going on anymore. And you don't have to take my word for that. Just turn on CNN or Fox or MSNBC and listen to the pundits who got everything wrong for the last 6 months explain how the next 6 months are going to go. These are the experts in what I have no idea. Last week, I discussed what I consider to be the biggest risk of a Trump presidency. We have a salesman doing a hell of a sales job, but we really don't know what kind of product we're going to end up with in the end. As some of you pointed out, the notion of not knowing how someone will act once in office is actually no different than with most politicians. They pretty much all will say anything to get elected and then do whatever they can to stay in power. Ironically, this endless loop of promises made and broken by politicians who just want to stay in office is exactly what has led to the rise of Donald Trump. People are sick of the status quo and are willing to turn to a reality TV host as their savior. Some of you pointed out if my question of whether Trump would even believe in our 3 branches of government was legit. Many presidents have done plenty via executive action, effectively circumventing Congress. And usually, like in the case of Barack Obama, they're against using executive actions until they're in office themselves. Of course, presidents shouldn't get all the blame for executive actions. It's not as if this Congress has been eager to get anything done with the president. Regardless of who's to blame, though, the average person sees usurping of power and Washington gridlock. In their minds, is a regular politician going to get our country out of that pattern? No, but an over-the-top businessman might. While we can parse out why Trump has risen, the fact is he is here, and all of us have to acknowledge there is a political movement brewing on the horizon. It may not be the one you like, but trying to silence Trump supporters by blocking roads to rallies or by labeling all his supporters racist isn't going to stop his rise. Actually, it's just going to make his support that much stronger. This is why I always talk about the battle of ideas on this show. And it's not only why I talk about them, it's why I invite guests from all over the political map to share in their views. And guess what? Yeah, sometimes they say things that I don't agree with, but I don't shout them down. The only way we can ever make progress is by hearing others. This should be the #1 principle of being a progressive, but these days it's not even on their top 10 list. If you hate Trump, if you think his comments about Muslims are horrible, if you think his border wall is terrible, and you think his general disposition is disgusting, then use your speech to promote a candidate with better ideas. If you like Bernie, then help Bernie get the vote out. If you like Hillary, then tell your friends why. If you like Ted Cruz, well, then you're the only one, but good for you. The point is, we've never needed a battle of ideas more in this country than we do right now, and we shouldn't be afraid to have it. But here's the scary part. A battle of ideas means actually hearing people out. So yes, you can use your free speech to protest Trump or anyone else. That's as American as it gets. But big goddamn deal if you're offended. Suck it up and move on like you should have learned in 4th grade. Do you think the people who blocked the road to the Trump rally changed the mind of one person that they stopped from getting there? No, they actually did the complete opposite because they didn't have a battle of ideas. They had a battle of Mad Max Fury Road on a highway in Arizona. My guest this week is the infamous, notorious, and always outspoken Milo Yiannopoulos. Milo is a provocateur whose rise to stardom in some ways mirrors Trump's, which might explain his support for the Donald. Milo is using all the tools of the internet to spread his message against the authoritarians. Not only does he always get a reaction, but he's paid the price, losing his blue Twitter verification check and being protested at several universities on his current college tour. He's sort of a micro-Trump in that he uses the media to fuel his ascent to stardom. While I have many differences of opinion with Milo, we find ourselves as allies in the war on free speech and against ideologies that would silence us both. There is way more that unites us as a people and as a country than the media will ever tell us. Decency, respect, and humanity just aren't very clickable. Riots, protests, and violence will always be the lead story, thus fueling the fire of intolerance. That's why I said you ain't seen nothing yet. We could end up with a contested convention for the Republicans, a superdelegate revolt by the Democrats, a sudden third-party candidate, or who knows what else. The important thing is that we learn to respect one another while this insane process unfolds around us. If our leaders aren't going to be great, then it's time for us to do some leading ourselves.